The Celtics media game really has taken on a life of its own, though.
It has, and it should. It's ridiculous. There are 30 teams in the NBA. Do any of the other teams do this?
Nick came in and made such a good point in the break versus on the air. And so Nick comes in and he's like, Joe Mazzulla can say, I didn't think it was going to turn into something. What did you say, Nick, when you just came in? You're
they recorded the whole thing.
If the beat writers just wrote about it and there was no footage, this really wouldn't be a massive story.
I guess it was being played on SportsCenter yesterday.
And they played the highlights on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And Joe Mazzulla has the audacity to turn it. Yeah, I haven't seen that clip. It wasn't good.
It was pretty funny.
Well, was he on defense or offense?
He was on offense. He was taking.
Well, you got
Deshaun Butler, who played at West Virginia in the Final Four, is like, give me that.
Yeah.
He goes, give me that.
Did he yam it on him? Was it a dunk?
No, he picked it from behind him, and Terp chasing the ball was unfortunately pretty.
No, I'm saying he picked it from behind him, and then did he go the other way for a dunk?
It cut off before.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Terp did our show any favors. I'll be honest. I think he'd admit that as well.
But again, I don't care that the Celtics media had to play the coaches. But that's funny. That's entertaining.
Don't tell me it's not funny.
But I didn't know it would turn into something. Well, if you guys didn't record it and air the highlights on the Jumbotron and send it to SportsCenter, it probably wouldn't have.
It was such good bonding. We got to do it again. The media's like, yeah, hell yeah, that was fun.
Do you think there's any chance they do it again like that? No. The next time they do it, they will divvy up the coaches. I guarantee.
No, unless you get Scal and a few other guys. I don't know who played and who didn't, and who has who played basketball or whatever.
Scal, Jones, and Keefe.
Yeah,
Eddie House.
Eddie House out there. A couple guys.
Perk would love to throw an elbow at Mazzulla.
Perk versus Mazzulla would be good. Mazzulla would also love to defend Perk.
No, Mazzulla
played the baseline of the 1-3-1 for Huggins. He was there's that scene of him shutting down DeMarcus Cousins in the tournament. So I think he'd be up for it.
Mazzulla would get the best.
Mazzulla would definitely, yeah.
Text line is also saying, unless God Shamgod has a kid who coaches for the Celtics, he's 49.
I got news for you, bud.
He does. God Shamgod Jr.
God Shamgod Jr., who I'm sure is very, very, very good. Terp said he was.
A young man.
Those guys were very good. Yeah, I doubt they do it. In fact, Terp said originally they were going to play 2 12-minute quarters, and they called it quits after the one.
They called off the dogs.
Yeah,
finally. Nick also said this in the break. Would it have been more embarrassing if the coaches just were up 20-2 and then went 4 corners offense and just ran out the clock?
Just bled clock. Or
press all 12 minutes.
I think 57-4 is more embarrassing. Yeah,
I'd rather not have them dribble the ball out when you're up by 12 because you're not scoring.
But I would have. And listen, I'm no NBA head coach, let alone one who won a title. But maybe after you're up by 30, maybe don't full court press. Let them get up there and then maybe block a few shots.
Sure.
Terps they didn't even take shots. They just get the ball stolen from them in the half court or the full court the whole time.
Terps said if the half court line was an end zone, we still would have lost the game just crossing half court.
Wouldn't you want to see what their shots look like? They couldn't even make fun of them for bad shots because they didn't take any.
That's true.
It was just way too much.
That's not. It was about learning how people compete. Keith.
Yeah.
And it was about all being the same and being competitive for once because you guys don't do competitive jobs. You guys don't get it. You guys just work regular stiff jobs. You guys don't work in a competitive field or a competitive job or anything like that.
No,
so that's totally what it was about.
If the media had a coach, they would have removed the team from the floor. They would have been we're done. They would have been 25-0, and they would be this isn't getting any better.
What's the mercy rule?
Yeah, we're done. We're going to take our players off the court. This is not a safe environment for them. We need to remove them from this.
I mean, I didn't realize that until we asked Terp yesterday. He's just it all happened so fast.
He's it was a blur. I don't even remember. I don't remember the details. And now he has to be shamed, and he's trying to cover the game last night, watching himself
He's
on the jumbo screen getting smoked.
I felt bad texting him. I saw the clip on Twitter. I texted Terp.
Yeah.
Man, that's a bad look.
And then everybody else is laughing. Yeah. Right? Mazzulla's it's not funny. You have a whole full arena laughing at the media. Oh, these guys can't play. Right. You know what? You know why they can't play? That's why they're covering the team. They know they can't play. We all know. Us doing these jobs now, we know we can't play pro sports. We don't need to be reminded we can't play pro sports.
Hey, I pantsed you. Why is everybody laughing? I pulled your pants down. Why is everybody laughing at that? It's not funny.
Shouldn't do that.
I don't understand why that's a funny thing. Why is everybody laughing at
that? Remember when you
wrote
that article that said you should be in the NBA and we should not be in the NBA? No. I never wrote that. Never said that. Well, we just proved you wrong.
I may have said I could have done some stuff that some NBA players have done in the past.
Yeah. That's what it was.
But no, the idea of
showed you guys.
These guys all totally thought they could do our jobs. We showed them.
They for sure did not.
I don't think anybody thought that.
No,
although if you really wanted to complete the analogy, all the Celtics coaches should have had to cover the game afterwards.
Write an article. Write a quick
story,
article. Yeah.
Conduct an interview.
You have 30 minutes to post an article. Go. Go ahead.
Do it.
And some quotes. Give me some quotes. Ask some questions. Get some quotes. Put the quotes in there.
Yeah.
Fire off a couple tweets.
No typos.
Do a little video. Do a podcast.
Yeah, and then see how many clicks it gets.
Yeah.
See how many people read it.
Actually, you gotta watch
it. Probably a lot of people would read it.
Probably a ton.
Yeah. But yeah, see how many.
If you knew Emile Jefferson was writing an article, you'd read it.
See how many clicks it gets.
You would.
So there you go. 617-779-7937. Every Thursday at high noon, we go on the clock. Celtics start their season a week from yesterday, so less than a week away. They open it up next Wednesday. We'll do Pure Hoops with Terp at high noon. I think we have some plans for Joe Mazzulla next week as well, but we figured to get into Celtics mode, we could go on the clock with a season preview. You want first ups? You want second ups?
I'll go first ups,
yes. Right.
Yes.
Keefe, take it away.
All right,
Let's put him on the clock.
All right, Celtics preview in 60 seconds. Hopefully Jaylen Brown's injury is not too big a deal because then that's going to change how I feel about the upcoming season. So Jaylen Brown is going to have to, for the first 80% of the season, carry this team. He's going to have to be back to an all-NBA type of player if they're going to want to go to where they want to go, which I think is a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they get 45 wins this year. That would be good for probably 6th place if you look at last year. I think Jaylen Brown has to have a monster season. Derek White's going to be their second leading scorer. Peyton Pritchard, I want off the bench. Anthony Simons, those two guys are going to be your 3rd and 4th scorers. The big men, that's going to be a little bit of a gamble this year. Cada, Tillman, Boucher, Garza, they're going to have to impress. Joe Mazzulla is going to have to coach his tail off this year. And then hopefully with about 20 games to go in the regular season, you get Jason Tatum back in a wide-open Eastern Conference, and teams aren't going to want to play you because they've played about 60 games led by Jaylen Brown. Hopefully one of those big guys emerges, and then here comes Jason Tatum to help save the season.
Okay. What was your win total again?
45. All right. That's why I went first.
Jones sounds like he has 70.
No, I
think probably also 45.
A similar number that's about to be live tweaked. All right, put me on the clock. All right, here's your Celtics season preview in just 60 seconds. No Tatum, at least to start the year, so expectations are down for the Celtics. I do think he could be back in March to help this team. It is a big test for Joe Mazzulla. Is he any good? I think he's a good coach. I know he's pretty good beating up on the media, and this year will prove it. It's also going to be Jaylen's team. Can he be the lead dog this year? My sense is he can. He has to go out and prove that, although his hamstring's already barking at him, so hopefully he's good to go. I think they're going to be good. I got the over on 40.5 wins. I think they're going to be top 6 in the East. Put me down for 47 wins, Keith. 47. That's right. You've been mousetrapped. No 6th man for Peyton Pritchard. Because he's starting this year, he's not coming off the bench. Bigs are going to be a problem for the Celtics. They will still have plenty of shooting, though, between Derek White, Anthony Simons, and Sam Hauser. And here's the deal. If all else fails, just have the coaches suit up, go up and beat up on the other teams. That's how the Celtics can have a strong season, and that's what I think their season is going to look like this year.
So I think top 6 is the goal. Like, that's where you should be.
I revised that downwards. I initially had that top 4 seed at the beginning of the offseason.
Oh, yeah, no.
But they peeled away so much and didn't replace hardly anything that I had to revise that one down. I started the offseason saying 50 wins in top 4. I was going to say 45 in top 6. I'm now forced to go up a little bit.
But you haven't budged off top 6, which I think some have. We looked at some of the predictions or some of the simulations. They had them in the play-in, which is 7 through 10. But if you look at last year, there were 2 teams in the Eastern Conference with 60 wins. They were one of them. Mm-hmm. There was 2 with 50. There were 3 with 40. I'm sorry, 4 with 40. And then there were 2 that made the play-in with in the 30s, like high 30s for wins.
Meaning like the 9 and 10 seeds. Yeah.
I think if you end up being a 45-win team, that's 5th or 6th. And the Eastern Conference is wide open. I mean, the Pacers aren't going to be as good without Halliburton.
The ESPN simulation has Orlando winning the whole thing. They have the best team in the East, and they have Orlando winning the whole thing. I mean, if that's the Eastern Conference, and then we're talking about who at the top, Cleveland and the Knicks, you can win some games in this conference. But you look at the bigs. I know Tillman hit the big shot last night. I guess Cada played pretty well. Boucher, I think we both feel decently about.
I think him fine.
But that is going to be... and you heard this is how Mazzulla's week started, crying about the rebounding and yelling at reporters then for some of their questions. So That's going to be an issue for him all season long, but you can win 45 games in the NBA and be massively flawed.
Well, I also think if you have an all-NBA player in Brown and then another all-star, maybe this will be the first year Derek White actually makes the all-star team, right? I think he's going to get plenty of shots. He's going to, and he's one of the better defensive players, one of the better defensive guards in the league. So if you have those two guys kind of leading the way, Pritchard and Simon can both score, right? So, like, it's not like some of these teams that have one or two good players, when they come off the court, they don't score. Like, they have such a hard time. But those guys can still score. How they do on the glass, how they do against some of the better big men in the league will be a challenge. But I'm with you. I think they could still win a lot of games. And I'm not ruling out an early March return for Tatum. So you got to kind of tread water. You could even be the 7th seed, like, at that point, and then maybe that final push. And he probably wouldn't play back-to-backs. He probably wouldn't play
but he could still,
every game the rest of the way.
But
You'd
have
to
still
rest
give you a
him.
lift late in the year.
Something.
For sure. How concerned should we be about Jalen's hammy? I know Missoula said after the game, no big deal.
I don't know. We heard that about Christian Gonzalez, didn't we?
We did.
And if you don't have Jaylen Brown, that throws everything out, right? Like that, for them to even get to 45 wins, you need Jaylen Brown from game one on being really, really good. If you don't, then look at the roster. Then that looks like a lottery team.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take the Celtics and remove Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Holiday, Horford, and be like, they'll be fine.
But even if he has Gonzalez's hamstring, he's still back in December. You know what I mean? He's still playing a bunch of games. And
but that's terrifying. So now you have 20-plus games without Brown or Tatum.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying it's ideal. He's not going to be out till December.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, like, we heard the same thing about Gonzalez.
Yes.
And so maybe it's just we heard that too recently about these hamstrings. Like, all right, he's fine. Won't even miss any time. And I know it's preseason, and even if it was like the slightest of slight hamstring pulls last night, obviously don't return him to the game. I think the same thing happened with the Kings with Sabonis. Sabonis went down. He didn't come back in, but, like, probably precautionary.
And it looked like Jalen took himself out, right? And so I think that's probably good. It wasn't like trainers were out there on the court and he fell down into a heap. He felt something. He walked off. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but could his status be in doubt for the opener less than a week away? Sure.
Yeah.
617-779-7937. I like that. That'd be a good Hunter Henry surprise question, Keefe. How surprised were you when you saw the score of the Celtics media game?
When Missoula decided to have his coaching staff take on the media?
That's a good one from the Twitch chat. I also like this on the text line. Guys, have all the coaches write a quick article, post it in 30 minutes, no typos. Make sure you include some quotes from guys who don't want to cooperate with you on top of it. So that's true.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with the Celtics media members who are now the players that are being interviewed.
And then if you don't have
enough
want
people, nothing to do with you and don't even want to give you any time of day.
And then if not enough people click on it, your bosses will yell at you. And then if still not enough people click on it, you'll lose your job. But it's not competitive.
Well, you'll get the hate on social media. You'll get that too. So deal with that.
You don't get competition. You guys don't understand.
That's good. Okay. You can go on the clock, 617-779-7937 with your Celtics season preview. I don't think this is an on the clock. Mike has been on hold for a little bit, but Mike is in Brockton. Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys. Love your show. Listen every day when I'm on the road. I was watching the video. I'm just trying to find out what was the purpose of it. The kid, Kari Thompson, played AAU for me back in the day. He didn't play college basketball, and I razzed him about he scored 2 of the 4 points.
Mike, he had a nice bucket.
I was going to say, without him, they got shut out. Yeah.
He scored 2 of the 4 points, and he put it on his social media, and I'm like, okay, so you still got punched by 50. And I'm watching. I felt so bad for Kayla Burton. If you watch the video, she was like just running around, closing out on everybody, flailing like one of those blow-up dolls in front of T-Mobile store during the grand opening. I just felt so bad for her. And then picking her pocket, going down, dunking. I'm like, how much fun can this really be?
So I didn't.
How much fun? And I was like,
oh, I think they had fun.
Well, I was going to say half the people on the court had fun.
Yeah,
the other half did not. There's no way you had fun.
So
I think it's a funny experience, and like they can talk about it, and they got way more. Like, speaking of like getting people to read your articles, more people read your article about that, I'm guessing, than would have been about like, hey, day 20 of practice, Hugo Gonzalez, dove in the corner. Like, people, I thought this was entertaining, thought it was funny. But yeah, they just didn't have a chance. What was the point of it? I think was just to embarrass them and to be like, hey, like, you guys are in the media for a reason. You're not like at this level, which I think everybody already knew.
Well, I would think that, yes, everybody already knew that. But I would think that about any coach doing this, specifically Joe Mazzulla and his relationship with the media.
Yeah, which is odd.
He tries to embarrass them all the time.
Yep.
Remember
he referenced the Gary Washburn article from like years earlier. Yeah. He's like, well, there was a game against the Rockets in November of 21 where you said this. Which, he's like, okay.
Whatever. Joe Mazzulla can try to embarrass the media all he wants. He's not the first coach to do it. Like, fine. I'm not even saying it's a good or a bad thing. It just is.
Find a 2-on-1, 2-on-1. Find a 2-on-1. Find a 2-on-1. What is a 2-on-1 present? 2 shooters on the 2-on-1? There's 2 shooters on the 2-on-1. There's not 2 shooters on the 2-on-1. You create a 2-on-1.
He lives to embarrass the media. Yeah. So what was the point? That. But no, I haven't heard. Twitch chat is saying, no one had fun doing it. I think the media members all have said that it was a good experience and a fun experience.
Oh, they're not like mad about it.
But while they were out, no one's at least claiming to be mad about it.
Oh, that's true.
Turp couldn't recount it without a smile on his face.
Yeah, he was like laughing about it. Like, what an experience.
But in real time, while you're getting your ass beat, I don't think that was super fun.
But then I think later on, there's a reason why they also did a media versus media game, because that's what they were hoping to do when they showed up.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, but the point was to embarrass them, and now Joe's trying to run from that, which I just think is the most.
It's actually all about bonding. Because there's no other way to bond.
The most embarrassing part of all of it is how Joe's handled it.
You know what? If you really wanted to bond with the media, pizza party. You get a whole bunch of pies, a whole bunch of 2 liters, and you just start talking.
Oh, have you ever seen a Wednesday down in Foxborough, Keefe? All they got to do is throw like some Chick-fil-A at you or like a Papagino's.
People have the best time.
It's a great time. The whole media down there is happy.
No, they're like, tie your shoes tight, get out there. We're playing 12 minutes. Let's go. No shot clocks. You're not going to have the ball long enough.
I still think it's a little embarrassing for the coaches that they allowed 4 points. I feel like
they didn't pitch a shutout.
That's a narrative that should be picked up a little bit more. It's like, wow, they beat them. How did they allow 2?
I agree.
I still would investigate that a little bit more. 617-779-7937. You want to go on the clock with the Celtics season preview, have at it on the phone.